welcome back, everybody. You're with us here at Cape Rugby TV. Coming up towards the end of the show, this segment, we're going to talk to you a little bit about MChem 24-hour pharmacy. Of course, they've got the IV clinic in play. And still coming up, we're going to explain to you how you can win yourself a case of Score energy drinks. Super League B is getting pretty hot, but before we go to Super League B, let's quickly show you the logs in Super League C. Macassar sitting at the top of the pile, followed by Goodwood, Primrose, Young Peoples, Penil Villages, and Atlantis. And then there's Gardens challenging, and Busy Bees still challenging, and Scottsdene still challenging, and Blue Jets still challenging. Now, guys, when we take a look here at Super League C, up until this weekend past, all of these guys were on equal 10 points per game. Young People's scored an additional number there. But we're talking about a league year that also the top 8, top 7, top 8, 50-50 as well. Gardens could make it. Busy Bees could still make it. Scottsdene could still make it. Another league that is quite an interesting challenge. Not to mention the bottom part, where Strand United, Massey, Rangers could see some movement at the bottom of the log. Rob, your thoughts?
JP, I asked myself this question because I've been there in the Super League A. Is there a point where you between 12 and 6, where you just decide that is there still something in it in those last 2-3 games? In Super League C, you can see that there's 10 clubs that can still make the top 6. But what are we saying to each other? Don't we want to end the best we can with the last 3-4 games, so that next year we can kick off with a little bit? Maybe I get to 7th, but it opened the door that 3, 4, 5 other players would like to join my club next year. So just don't. These guys must just not stop them.
No, well, this is the thing, Rob. Let's take a look at the Collegians All Saints game. I'll just put a pin underneath that, and I think that from a club rugby point of view, my personal picture is I don't care about the logs. I don't care about the results. I don't care if you're promoted or relegated. I want to see you playing rugby every weekend. I want to see you play for the coach, for the club, for the jersey. And I think that should actually be the... But we'll talk more about that. Let's get into this, into the highlights here. Collegians and All Saints, before I get started about our contribution to community sport. there we go. Big game there. Collegians and All Saints. And of course, final result, they're going in favor of Collegians. It was a big game for them, and they'll be happy with that log position. So let's quickly, well, I'm not sure if they're happy yet with the log position, but yeah, result there then 31 points to 23 against All Saints. Let's quickly take another look at the log then, folks. Super League C, Macassar is sitting at the top. Goodwood, Primrose, Young People's, Peniel Villages, and Atlantis. Gardens, Busy Bees, and then, of course, let's quickly take a look here at the final log. There we, of course, see Thunderstel at the top of the pile, Kraaifontein, UWC, Hands and Arts, Belleville, Franschhoek, Hamadias, and Collegians. Right, guys, final comments. Good result for Collegians against an ever-increasing, getting stronger side, All Saints. They really had a good year last year. They're getting stronger and stronger. This was always going to be a big game. I think it was a 50-50, but yeah, and of course, Collegians, even though it was a home game for them, they were playing away from home, at home.
Yeah, you know, every home game's a away game. But they done really well. They were down, I think it was 23-13 or 23-11 halftime, and they came back to win that game 31-23. But that keeps them in contention to fight for that top six, that 6th or 5th position going into the playoffs.
Yeah, Rob, last comments from you. All Saints will be disappointed with this result. Losing to Collegians, they needed these points. They've got 3 games left for the season.
I think both of them needed to win. And I think at the end of the day, Collegians were a little bit more disciplined, and that helped them. You could see it in the penalty count as well. And but again, Collegians mountain to climb to get into that top 6 still.
Yeah. Right, folks, and of course, as we know, Collegians still does not have their home ground in place yet, but soon to be. And I'm sure that as soon as we see our first home game for Collegians at home, everybody's going to be there. So we're looking forward to that. And big thanks to the clubs that have been supporting Collegians. And of course, this past weekend playing at Belha in Cordian Park. So thanks to the guys from Belha for supporting Collegians with this home match. MChem 24 Hours Pharmacy is, of course, on board with Cape Rugby TV. They've got an IV clinic there, which you absolutely need to go take a look at. Here's a little behind the scenes for you. MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy Infusion Clinic brings you the vitamin and mineral infusion. It's as easy as starting off with a consultation and an infusion recommendation with a base of a minimum of 4 quality vitamin and mineral ingredients, as well as the extra ingredient for your specific needs. The qualified nursing sister begins the procedure, and then you relax in comfort. That's the MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy IV Clinic. Refresh, rehydrate, rejuvenate, relax. All at the MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy Infusion Clinic.